Hello everybody and welcome back to another UFC breakdown and prediction video. Today we'll be breaking down UFC 291, Justin Gaethje taking on Dustin Poirier in the main event. What an absolute war we have on our hands this weekend. But before we do that, UFC London recap, 4.66 units on the night, 6-2 in bets, should have been 7-1 if David Grant got that decision win. Somehow they gave that to Daniel Marcos in that fight, crazy, but it's all good though. I'll take a 4.66 unit night and let's make it 3 weeks in a row of profit. And yeah, let's enjoy some fights and let's make some cash this weekend, boys. Let's go. And our first fight tonight is going to be an absolute banger. Matthew Semelsberger taking on Uros Medic. Matthew Semelsberger about a -165 favourite. Uros Medic about a +140 underdog. Matthew Semelsberger coming off that loss to Jeremiah Wells less than 3 months ago. And Uros Medic coming off that KO victory against Omar Morales more than a year ago now. I'm going to have to side with Matthew Semelsberger in this matchup. I just think that he's going to be too durable for Uros Medic in this matchup. You know, Uros Medic has a very sus gas tank, and I feel like, you know, Matthew Semelsberger is such a hard guy to finish, and I think that he will weather that early storm from Uros Medic and get that KO in the later rounds. He's got a nasty right hand, got good striking, very tough and durable on the feet. You know, Uros Medic does have some good kickboxing, but I'm gonna have to side with the durable guy, the guy that has the better cardio is also, and that like he can win the fight as it goes on. So yeah, give me Matthew Semelsberger by 3rd round TKO in this matchup. And our next fight on is going to be Miranda Maverick taking on Priscila Cachoeira. Miranda Maverick 2-3 in her last 5. Cachoeira 4-1 in her last 5. Maverick a -340 favourite, and Priscila Cachoeira going to be a +270 big underdog in this matchup. I'm going to have to side with Miranda Maverick in this fight. Miranda Maverick is just going to be the better mixed martial artist here in every aspect of MMA. You know, Priscila Cachoeira has struggled with grapplers in the past, and I do see Miranda Maverick getting the back and getting the hooks in and getting a submission in the second round. If Miranda Maverick trades with Cachoeira in this matchup, it could be a long night for her. Well, it could be a very short night for her, as she might be out in that first round, but I think Miranda Maverick is confident. She is taking this on quite short notice, but I do think that's for a reason. I think this is a very good bounce back position for her, and I think it's kind of a setup fight, to be honest, for her to get back on track after her last loss to Yasmin Jostovicius. So yeah, give me a Miranda Maverick by that 2nd or 3rd round rear naked choke. And our next fight tonight is going to be Jake Matthews taking on Darrius Flowers. Jake Matthews 3-2 in his last 5. Darrius Flowers 4-1 in his last 5. Jake Matthews about a plus or -300 favourite. Darrius Flowers but a +250 underdog. I'm going to have to side with the Celtic kid himself in this matchup. I think that he has more ways to win. I think his cardio is going to be better. I think his grappling edge is going to be massive in this matchup. Darrius Flowers has about 4 minutes of cardio. He does have some good power in his hands, but he has lost all 5 of his losses by stoppage, and I do see that kind of being the same in this matchup. I think Jake Matthews will find the back and will find that rear naked choke in the 2nd and 3rd round. Darrius Flowers doesn't have the best cardio here, and I just don't think that his grappling will be on the same kind of level as Jake Matthews in this matchup. So yeah, give me Jake Matthews by 2nd round submission after Darrius Flowers slows down in this matchup. And our next fight tonight is going to be CJ Vergara taking on Vinicius Salvador. CJ Vergara 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Vinicius Salvador 4-1 in his last 5 fights. CJ Vergara coming in about a -170 favourite. Vinicius Salvador about a +145 underdog. I'm going to have to side with CJ Vergara in this fight. I think that he is going to be the more the better fighter over the 3 rounds, and he will have the better cardio, and he will be able to implement some wrestling in this matchup. Vinicius Salvador is a very powerful striker, finished all of his wins, which is crazy for a flyweight, but I just think that he won't be able to keep up with the pace that CJ Vergara will present to him in this matchup, and I do see this kind of going over, and I do see it going to a decision by CJ Vergara, just kind of winning in the later rounds, 2 or 3, but I wouldn't be surprised if Vinicius Salvador, landed a big shot on CJ Vergara, as, CJ Vergara is pretty open on the feet, but give me CJ Vergara by decision in this matchup, because he just has a wider variety of ways to win this matchup, in my opinion. And our next fight tonight is going to be Roman Kopylov taking on Claudio Ribeiro. Roman Kopylov 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Claudio Ribeiro 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Kopylov a -230 favourite. Ribeiro a +190 underdog. Gonna have to side with Roman Kopylov. I've kind of put a max bet on Roman Kopylov this weekend. I'm very confident that he gets this one done. He's the better striker. He's kind of better in every single aspect of MMA. You know, Ribeiro doesn't have the best cardio whatsoever, not the best striking, to be honest. It's just all power. He swings hooks from behind himself. He literally will start his swing from behind his back, which is just crazy. I see that Roman Kopylov is going to be way too slick on the feet. He'll be able to counter the leg kicks off Claudio Ribeiro all day in this matchup and just be too slick for him on the feet. So yeah, I'm pretty confident that Roman Kopylov gets this one done, and he has a major cardio advantage also. Ribeiro slows down after a round and is very hittable also. So I just see Roman Kopylov being too slick on the feet and landing a KO blow in that second round as Claudio Ribeiro starts to slow down and starts to kind of quit on himself. So yeah, give me a Roman Kopylov by second round TKO in this matchup. And our next fight tonight is going to be Trevin Giles taking on Gabriel Bonfim. Trevin Giles 3-2 in his last 5. Gabriel Bonfim 5-0 in his last 5. Trevin Giles a +240 underdog. Gabriel Bonfim a -300 favourite. I'm going to have to side with the heavy favourite in this matchup, Gabriel Bonfim. I think that he will be able to find the chin of Trevin Giles. Trevin Giles' chin is very suspect and he is very open on the feet. He has his hands down, chin up, and his chin is kind of just suspect in general. He's obviously back down. Well, he's not back down. He moved down to welterweight, and you know, his last fight he didn't really impress me, and I had a bet on him in his last fight against Preston Parsons, and I wasn't really too impressed. I thought Preston Parsons might have won that fight in my opinion, but I don't know. I think that Gabriel Bonfim is going to be too slick on the feet for him. He's going to be able to get this fight to the ground possibly and find a submission, and I do see him hurting Trevin Giles on the feet and getting like a submission on the ground when he follows him down. So a club and sub in my opinion in the first round. Just don't like the chin of Trevin Giles, but he is very slick on the feet, and he is very good on the feet, but I think that Gabriel Bonfim is just better in every single aspect of MMA here. And our next fight is going to be Derrick Lewis taking on Marcos Rodrigo de Lima. Derrick Lewis 1-4 in his last 5. De Lima 4-1 in his last 5. Derrick Lewis coming up at a +110 underdog. De Lima about a -130 favourite. I'm going to have to side with the favourite in this matchup, De Lima. I just think that Derrick Lewis is kind of past it at this point. You know, his last fight he just looked terrible getting taken down at will, and I kind of do see that being the same in this matchup, but I'm going to say this as a very unpopular take. I do see this going to the over 1.5, and I might play that. I'm pretty sure it's at +180 right now, which just seems off to me. This is an elevation, and I think that both guys will be hugging a lot against the cage. Marcos de Lima will be able to get this fight to the ground possibly, but if this fight doesn't end in the first minute, which I don't think it will, I think this will be definitely going to the over for sure in this fight. So yeah, give me a de Lima kind of just by decision here on control. So yeah, give me a de Lima on control by using his jiu-jitsu on the ground and holding Derrick Lewis down for most of the fight. And our next fight of the night is going to be Stephen Wonderboy Thompson taking on Michel Pereira. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson 3-2 in his last 5. Michel Pereira 5-0 in his last 5. Pereira about a +165 underdog. Wonderboy Thompson -195 favourite. This line has been moving in the favour of Michel Pereira, and I do agree with the line movement. I'm going to have to side with Michel Pereira in this matchup. I do see him maybe hurting Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I just can't trust a 40-year-old Wonderboy at this stage in his career. Yes, he looked really good against Kevin Holland, but Kevin Holland could have won that fight if he fought that differently, and don't forget he broke his hand pretty early in that fight. And I do see Michel Pereira implementing some grappling and wrestling into this fight, and you know, if Wonderboy Thompson falls over, Michel Pereira is going to go down to the ground and will lay on top of him for a full round. So I do see him winning minutes. I may play Michel Pereira by decision. I think that's a very, very nice play. If it's just like a +500, +450, I'm playing that all day. I'm pretty I like that line if it will be that. And Michel Pereira, I just think he has more ways to win this fight. Wonderboy Thompson, he will be past it, 40 years old. And, you know, Michel Pereira will be implementing some wrestling in this fight. And, you know, he doesn't have the best cardio, but he's really, you know, improved his game and tried to be more traditional mixed martial artist instead of all the back flips, front flips, wheel kicks, rolling thunder kicks. You know, he's kind of keeping it more traditional nowadays. And even on the feet, he will be able to, you know, implement some leg kicks. You will have the power advantage. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go with Michel Pereira in this matchup. And our next fight tonight is going to be Michael Chiesa taking on Kevin Holland. Michael Chiesa is 3-2 in his last 5. Kevin Holland is 3-2 in his last 5. Michael Chiesa about a plus 130 underdog. Kevin Holland about a minus 150 favourite. I'm going to have to side with Michael Chiesa. This is a very tough fight to pick, but I feel like Michael Chiesa can get the back and win minutes there and just kind of control him there for, you know, a couple of rounds, to be honest. You know, Kevin Holland's back. He's given up his back multiple times in his career and has been submitted by Ray Nikachuk in his career. So I do see Michael Chiesa getting to the back and controlling him there. You know, Kevin Holland was controlled by Alex Oliveira on the back, and, you know, if Alex Oliveira can do that, I see Michael Chiesa doing that. But if it stays on the feet, Kevin Holland could catch Michael Chiesa, and Michael Chiesa could get subbed in this matchup. You know, Kevin Holland's a black belt in BJJ somehow. So, yeah, and Michael Chiesa's, like, been subbed so many times. So I wouldn't rule out a submission victory for Kevin Holland, but I feel like I have to go with the guy that will just win the minutes on the ground and get the back. You know, Kevin Holland's takedown defense is kind of sus. So yeah, give me Michael Chiesa by getting the back, controlling and winning this by decision. Our next fight tonight is going to be Tony Ferguson taking on Bobby Green. Bobby Green 2-1 in his last 5. Tony Ferguson 0-5 in his last 5. Gonna have to side with Bobby Green in this matchup at minus 335. Tony Ferguson plus 260 underdog. I just don't think he has any more, man. You know, Tony Ferguson was a guy that wasn't tapping to knee bars, wasn't tapping to arm bars, but taps to a guillotine almost immediately to Nate Diaz. You know, that just shows me where his head is at in his career and the way he reacted to getting that loss to Nate Diaz. You know, he was happy, clapping people's hands. Just he's not in the right mentality anymore. I don't think he has it either. Just no testosterone left, it looks like. That Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson fight was just a hard one to watch from both sides. They just looked so washed. And Bobby Green's still fighting at a decent level. Pretty quick still, you know. Very good boxing, and I just see him pacing up Tony Ferguson, having a way just bigger speed advantage on the feet here. Hopefully Tony Ferguson can win this, but just I don't see it whatsoever. So give me Bobby Green by decision. I think that Tony Ferguson will be tough enough on the feet, but that's really all I see Tony Ferguson being able to do in this fight, is just be tough enough. I don't really see how he can win this matchup, but I'll be rooting for Tony Ferguson in this fight. And our next fight tonight is going to be the co-main event of the evening. Jan Błachowicz taking on Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira about a plus 100 underdog, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Jan Błachowicz 3-1-1 in his last 5 fights, minus 120 favourite. Gonna have to side with the favourite. I'm pretty sure it's actually a pick'em now, minus 110. I think that Jan Błachowicz can win this fight in many ways. And if you're picking Alex Pereira, you're kind of guessing, aren't you, really? You don't really know how good his grappling is. You don't really know how good his takedown defense is, and he's going to be fighting a much bigger man compared to what he was previously fighting. I think that if you're picking Alex Pereira, you're kind of just guessing, like I said. So I'm going to have to side with the more logical pick, in my opinion. I think that Jan Błachowicz will have a major wrestling advantage in this fight, and he will be implementing it. But even on the feet, you know, it will be dangerous for him to stand with Alex Pereira, but I could see him even catching Alex Pereira on the feet. You know, Alex Pereira is very open on the feet and is very hittable on the feet, but I would advise Jan Błachowicz to take him down and not really stand there for too long. So yeah, give me Jan Błachowicz by maybe a second round TKO on the ground. Alex Pereira not really being able to move that much with the bigger man on top. But yeah, give me Jan Błachowicz by second round TKO. And the time has come. Dustin Poirier taking on Justin Gaethje in the main event. Dustin Poirier 4-1 in his last 5. Justin Gaethje 3-2 in his last 5. Dustin Poirier coming in about a minus 135 favourite. Justin Gaethje plus 115 underdog. Gonna have to side with Dustin Poirier in this fight. I just like the durability edge. I like the way he goes to the body. Justin Gaethje does not deal with body shots very well, in my opinion, from the Eddie Alvarez fight and the first fight they had. And I just feel like Dustin Poirier will have the slight durability edge, which I like in these type of fights, in all-out war fights. So yeah, Dustin Poirier is just gonna be just too much on the feet, to be honest, over the 5 rounds for Justin Gaethje. Dustin Poirier will be able to mix up that target much more than Justin Gaethje, and I like the cardio advantage he also has in this fight. And if it gets to the ground, Justin Gaethje is a legit white belt in BJJ, as we know. But yeah, I don't think it will get there. So, but yeah, give me Dustin Poirier by 4th round TKO like the last fight they had. But yeah, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, hit the subscribe button, comment your best bets down in the comments below. But yeah, guys, I will see you in the next one. I will be doing a best bets video for this week, so stay tuned about Wednesday or Thursday for that. So yeah, guys, I will see you guys there. Have a good day. Peace!